confession. I um I quit sales because I quit sales because some kid beat me in sales. It's like I was making multiple six figures a year, but this kid beat me in sales, and so I just couldn't handle the stress and hurt my feelings. So I just had to quit sales, man. I had to get out of sales. Sorry, guys. I never told you guys. Can you imagine? That's what this kid thought. So if you don't know the situation, I'll give you like a quick synopsis rundown. Okay. By the way, I purchased with a Virgin, Burgess version today, ladies and gentlemen. So a pretty well-known sales trainer made up a complete lie about me and made a Instagram video and it went semi-viral. Okay. Well, the person, long story short, you can check it out. I guess it should be out there in the internet. What they're saying is that, yeah. So he was saying like, yeah, one of the things I enjoyed about being a sales rep is that I beat people in sales so much that they quit sales and then they hated their life so much. One of them is a guy named Brian Choi. We're in good terms. Brian, if you're watching this, I love you, man. Da 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 da. And then he goes, "Yeah, I beat him in sales so much that he became a sales trainer. He quit sales." Right. And so that was very interesting because none of them are true. And so when I confronted, and I didn't even know, right? Because I don't have, by the way, if you guys can hear me, just drop in the chat so I can make sure that you can hear me. But yeah, so I confronted him about it. I messaged him on Facebook. It's like, hey, why would you lie to people? I'm just wondering, like, why would you do that? I wasn't really mad or whatever. I was just like confused, like, why would anybody do that? Right. So when I confronted this man about it, guess what he did? He apologized. He acknowledged. He took full responsibility. No, none of that. What he said was, "Oh, bro, I don't even have Instagram on my phone. I didn't even know. Yeah, yeah, it was my content guy. He gives me some few lines to read, and I didn't even know he clipped that and posted that." I'm like, well, that has nothing to do with you making up a straight up lie. Like you're the one that spoke into the camera. You're the one that spoke into the camera. You call out my name. He said, "Brian, if you're watching this, I love you." Huh. And then later on, when I said, "Well, that has nothing to do with your content guy, because you're the one that spoke into the camera and you said my name. You spoke to me." And then you know what, dude? Looking back at it, it is a bit harsh. Like, well, it's not about being harsh or not. It's just a straight up lie. You name drop me, and then you made up a lie. It has nothing to do with being harsh. That's interesting. So never did he acknowledge, take full responsibility, or apologize. Never. And so, I had no intention of going public about this with these kind of things. His name is Josh, by the way. And so I had no intention of going public about this. I don't like drama, right? I really don't. Like, I'd rather just provide value to you watching this to help you hit your goal, right? But if somebody's gonna like straight up come at me like that, name drop me and make up a fucking lie, and try to put dirt on my name, like, I might do something about it. Later on, maybe when I really run out of all fucks to give, then maybe I just like, "Ah, fucking whatever." And so, yeah, people have been asking me about it, so I have to address it. I don't have Instagram on my phone either. I just know because few people ask me about it, they DM me about it, so I was like, all right, you know. So again, I don't like creating drama. It's not really my vibe. But if I have to, I guess this is the game we play. It's unfortunate, right? Now, if he took full responsibility for it and like corrected it, then maybe like I would not have gone to this extent. But so sometimes this is how life goes. You know what I mean? And also another reason why I made that video is because no way live. What do you mean? We are live. Master, master. What? I don't know. Can you hear me? By the way, if you can hear me, just drop it. Like I don't know if I'm. Can you hear me or no? Drop it in the chat. Like yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear. Like drop something so I know I'm not just muted the whole time. You know what I'm saying? And if you have questions about sales or life in general throughout the chat, just drop it. Okay. Also, by the way, the price for our okay, loud and clear. Okay, classic price. I can hear it. Great. And by the way, the price for our licensing program, Real Sales System, is increasing by $1,000 on Monday. if you're watching this. This is not, yes, this is an urgency tactic, but it's not fake urgency. This is real urgency. We have raised price 3 or 4 times in the past. We'll continue doing so because number one, inflation, hate the game, not the player. Number two is, well, I'd rather work with lower amount of people that's higher quality to keep the group quality high because it's very important for our community. And so if you want that, I'm sure there's like a link in the description box below, right? Or just is go.saleselevate.io/demo, right? But I'm sure there's like a link somewhere here, right? So go there. It's for sales reps to get the 10K, 20K, and so on and so forth, right? And we provide you the how to land an offer, how to crush the sales call, so on and so forth. It's on the demo page. No income claims implied. I don't know your work ethic. I don't know your skills. I don't know your ability to follow instructions. It's just that historically members have done that. Okay. Now back to the thing. So another reason why the video was because this man that made up a lie about me, guess what? He's a serial criminal because he has done the same thing more or less to other people, privately and or publicly, numerous people. Okay, not just me, to other sales trainers, to other people in management in that company, so on and so forth. Yeah. Joshua says he was like, me and Brian get on our good friends and then threw your name in the dirt. Yeah. Classic PO says, nah, he's interesting for making that video. Oh yeah, very interesting for sure. Very interesting. So coming back to this, he's done that with other sales trainers. If you scroll through his videos like long enough, like long, like a long time ago, not that long ago, but I'm like scroll down. He's done that to other sales trainers where he'd react to a video. It's like, oh man, I can't hear this shit. Dude, this is really bad. I need to coach you better. Like he would say that. I'm like, your way is not the only way to do things. You do realize that. Right? Like how narcissistic, how egotistical, and how insecure do you need to be to think that somebody quit sales because like you exist, right? As well as like his play is the only one to do things. Who was it? His name's Josh. I'm not gonna get into too much details, man. And again, I'll not like name call him, but he did it first, so I'll just do it here. Okay. So just be careful. Be careful out there. Okay. Now going back to this, where was I? Uh oh yeah, so he's done pretty much the same with the other people in the company too. Because I know this because I'm friends with some people or stay in touch with people that have left the company partially because of a result of this guy being in management, because of this guy being the VP of revenue. A lot of people have been asking me, hey Brian, why is everybody leaving seventh level? Right. And obviously, from seventh level standpoint, they're gonna have their side of the story. From the people that have left, they're gonna have their side of the story. And there's gonna be what actually happened. I'm just gonna speak from what I've heard from people that have left the company, not just one people, but multiple different people at different positions. DM setters, top DM setters, top sales reps, people in management. Okay, multiple people in management. Because I've sat down at dinner with them in Dubai as they came visited me, or we talked on Facebook or WhatsApp or on a Zoom call. Okay. So it's like like after I left, like several months later, like all these other people are leaving, right? This person's leaving that. And these are like scrubs. These are like random people. These are top sales reps on the team at different positions and top management positions. I'm like, what guys, what's happening? Like, what's happening over there? It's like, dude, this guy became VP of management. It's like he's going fucking haywire. He's going rogue. Like he's fucking out of control. I mean, what do you mean out of control? He's doing this, he's doing this, he's doing this. Like, dude, it's not looking good. I was like, hmm. And so they've been telling me, it's like, dude, like he's telling me like I wanted to management because, Yash apparently said to some people in management, you only went to management because I beat you in sales and you're afraid that you cannot beat me in sales. I'm like, dude, like how are you okay? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you okay? So like, okay, like friendly competition is fine, right? But it comes to a point where you start to like be concerned, like, are you okay? You know what I mean? And a lot of people have left comments on the video that I responded to, right? Nora says Kendrick versus Drake. They not like us. Huh? They not like us. They're not like us. They're really not like us. So, or people have reached out to me privately saying that, yeah, a lot of people have said, yeah, I've had some not so good experience with that person. I've had some not so good experience with that person. This person has practically called me a loser on a sales call when I was on a sales call with him. Like he thinks I'm some like loser, like treating me like a kid. I guess he only made a lot of sales because he's, bullied a lot of younger kids. A lot, like some people said that this guy said that he was going to give me like a referral commission, but he never did. I followed up with him so many times. He ghosted me forever over like me a couple $100. I lost so much respect for this guy. And then a lot of people, right? Part of the reason why I made this video is to not only for myself, but also stand up for those people too, speak up for those people too. Because a lot of those people, they don't have like social media presence and they don't want to be out there, right? The thing about me is that number one, I don't have a huge social media following. I like a few thousand or whatever it may be, right? I think on YouTube I have like 7K, on Instagram I have like 4K, whatever. It's growing, but it's not like huge. But I also know how to structure my videos so more people are gonna watch it. Because right now the video I responded, like 20K people watch that. And I project that it's gonna get to 30K, 40K, maybe 50K. So I will speak up for myself and I'll speak up for those people too, and stand up for those people too. Because for me, quite frank, some people are afraid of saying things online. Like I get that, right? I am too. In an ideal world, like I would not be on social media. Like I don't want to. Like I just want to be ghost, right? I don't want to deal with all this shit. But I'll be the fucking person to fucking be out there, be that fucking crazy dude. This guy's a fucking psycho. I'll be the fucking psycho. I'll be the fucking psycho to stand up and like tell the fucking truth for myself and other people because I like those people. The people that have left that organization that I'm still like, dude. This sales training industry is fucking crazy. Most sales trainers are pathological liars. They're insecure deep down. I can name drop 3 sales trainers right now, well-known sales trainers. I can drop them right now that have cheated on their wife or their girlfriend. I can name them from right now. I'm not. Also, most sales trainers fake their numbers. They said they made X amount of commissions, but did they actually? Or did they maybe make that from management, but they say it's from commissions? Did they maybe make that from like consulting or from a business they owned, but they say that it was their commissions? That's what a lot of sales trainers do. Again, I'm not saying this like to like, because they're my competitors, what the fuck. I can do it other ways, right? I'm just doing this to shine some light. Most sales trainers are not good people. Like, to be fair, I'm not a perfect human being either. Like, I'm a flawed human being in every way possible, right? I make mistakes, but these people are on a whole different level. These people on a whole different level, man. It's very fun. So, which is why, even though I'm from this industry of like sales, there's only very few people that I'm friends with from this industry, or even out even like interact from this industry. There's some good people out there though, you know, whether it be people that run sales agencies or is in sales management, or like sales trainers. Like, yeah, some sales trainers I'm actually friends with. Not a lot, you know, can count less than one hand, but out of all the fucking sales trainers out there, but man, it's like this is, I mean, like, I don't want to be around these people. And so the thing is, if they're lying about, if they're doing this to other people, these sales trainers, does that mean that you're safe? What else are they lying about? Again, I'm not a perfect human being. I make mistakes, but just guess you're wondering, right? But that aside, whatever, that's aside. That's from like a business, like marketing standpoint. But like just like being that kind of human being. Yeah. Uh, so after this live, I'd rather not talk about this moving forward, right? Unless I need to. But surely Yash doesn't fake his crimes. Of course not. He didn't he made up a lie about a person, so he's definitely not gonna do that, right? Definitely not gonna do that. Yeah. Master Ugwe says low key at seventh level, the lead quality and everything. Sure, possible that he did, but his skill set, if applied outside of circumstance, he seems that probably not. He sounds restricted. Yeah, whatever. It's not like a pity party trying to talk shit about those kind of people. But um, by the way, if you guys have sales or life related questions, just drop it below. I'm just gonna share what I've learned from this experience and what you can get out of it too. Okay. So in the meantime, drop sales and life related questions, whether relating to this topic or any other topic in general. I'm just taking a walk after work. So I'm just some cardio and steps down there. However, going back to this. Now, this may seem like a dramatic, like you're pulling out your popcorn and I know you motherfuckers like your drama. I know you motherfuckers like your drama. It's okay. It's okay. We all do, right? So this may seem like a dramatic extreme case, like, oh, dude, like sales trainers beefing against sales trainer drama. But I'm sure a lot of people here experience this at some level, right? They do worry about what other people are gonna think about them in terms of maybe what your hometown people, maybe your friends, maybe your, partner, whether it be a family, whatever it may be, as you're trying to make this transition of breaking into high ticket sales, right? Where like you're probably doing good in maybe it's like in-person sales, right? Whether it be door-to-door car sales, home improvement, whatever it may be, or the current offer you're on, you just want to do a lot better, right? You don't want to do like decent. You want to do like you don't want to be stuck at like 60, 100 grand a year. You want to get to 200, 300 grand a year, so on and so forth, right? And like while you're doing that, not everybody's gonna be able to see that vision, right? Like when I was first trying to make money online, when I dropped out of college, my mom was like, "What are you crazy? Like why are you throwing away your future?" Like she did that, right? And so my mom would keep asking, like, when are you going back to school? When are you getting a real job? They'd always say that, right? At family gatherings, it was a bit stressful because everybody would ask me, when are you going to get a good job? When are you going to get a job? When are you going to get married? Right. Or in college as well, right? I went to college for a little bit. When I dropped out of college, my fraternity brothers, they're supposed to be my brothers. I was trying to post some content back then on Snapchat, right? On Snapchat stories. Because I went to like a convention of Gary Vee and Tony Robbins. And so I'm like, oh, let me post some content. And then my fraternity brothers made fun of me in the group chat. It's like, oh, why is that guy trying to be like a motivational fake speaker? Right. So they talk shit about me in the group chat. And so it just happens at different stages, man. And also, like my friends, like last year, I'll be putting out a video, like the top lessons I learned, like a full on, like a top, like a 2 hour long video almost, right? Top lessons I learned in 2025 and how to use that to crush your 2026. I'm gonna be putting that out. It's a lengthy video, but it's gonna be very insightful for you to make this year a really good one for you. I sat down for 2 hours, man. And like the night before that video, I got like 4 hours of sleep. I still sat down. So, anyways, and then I had like really close friends. I let go of two really close friends of mine that I've been friends for 9 years. And really close friends of mine for 9 years. Because some people they're not like as you make more money, as you get further ahead in life, you'll just lose more friends. And I know that sounds very dark. It can sound a bit, empty. That's just how it is. Like as you make more money, not always, but a lot of times, it's natural that we lose friends as we get ahead because statistically, most people are not successful, right? That's why most people are most people. Nothing wrong with that. It's just how it is, right? A lot of people say that, oh, I'm cut out different. I'm driven. I'm different. I'm hungry, but their actions don't show. Unfortunately, right? So, like, that's just how most people are, right? So, statistically, I am 1% of my age bracket, right? That's not to boast or that's not to, try to make myself look good. Like, I don't really like doing that. But I'm saying this because if I'm 1% of, like, in terms of income, at least, right? If I'm 1% of my age bracket, that means that 99% of people, there's like 99% of my age bracket at least that are not at my age bracket, right? And that, like, the way you think is different. Like even your mental thought process is different. I remember I tried so fucking much to try to get these two close friends to become more successful. And because before I used to be a lone wolf, right? Before I used to be a lone wolf where like, dude, like let me just make a lot of fucking money. Like that's if I do that, like that's all that matters, right? But it came to a point where like, dude, I think it'd be fucking sick if not only myself, but my also boys, my friends also came up with me. Because at that point of my friend group, I was making the most amount of money. You know what I'm saying? These days, like I have friends that are making like multiple seven figures, eight figures a year, sometimes like, you know, those people. Uh, but back then it was like I was making the most amount of money in my friend group. So, and I tried a lot, right? Paid I paid for shit for them. I paid their rents. I paid for business masterminds for them, like $2,000 business mastermind. I've let them stay in my villa that was like 8 grand a month for free. And I give them a lot of advice, staying on the phone for hours, giving them a lot of advice for years. Not only for like a day or two, a week or two, like a month or two, for years. Like 2, 3, 5 years, I've been trying to help them come up. Like most people just won't. And that's what I'm realizing. And that is fine. But the problem becomes when they start to throw rock at you. Like they get mad at you at some point. As an example, like one of those friends that I paid $2,000 for him to come to the business mastermind. First of all, he was late to the mastermind and he was on his phone the whole time. Go figure. When you pay attention. The more you pay, the more attention you pay, right? We all know that as salespeople. And then I let him stay at my villa for free. That was 8 grand a month. Like he would get mad, right? When I was with my other friend, I was with June and the other friend, right? So we and June are talking about, dude, like we're talking about like business strategies, how to make more money, so on and so forth. And the other friend will get mad. He's like, guys, like all of a sudden he's like, guys, it's not just about making more money, guys. Like all you guys talk about is making more money. Like be more humble, guys. I'm like, dude, we're literally out of business mastermind. and so we're talking about how to grow a business. It's almost like going to the gym and being pissed off that why are people working out? Just the logic. You know? Anyways, the whole point is that statistically, I mean, in an ideal world, yeah, like a lot of our friends, like all of our friends would get like try, right? And then all of us would move up. But it's not like all of our friends used to be like a fucking billionaire. It's just that as long as they're supportive and they're good, like good humans to be around, you enjoy being around them, that's fine. It's just that some people they start to like get jealous or they get mad at you for helping them. It's just what it is, right? So it was tough. It was not easy, but I just let them go. Just cut ties. It is what it is, right? So just realize that as you get further ahead in life, as you make this effort, like sometimes it can be lonely in the meantime, right? It can be lonely. And it may not be as extreme as my case where people make videos about you and going viral, right? Semi-viral and lying to people and all those kind of things. But here's the thing, this is not that bad. Later on, I know I'm gonna get lawsuits probably. I know that if I'm not getting lawsuits, I'm not playing at a big enough level. So just realize whenever you're going through like something tough or whatever, there's worst case scenarios. There are literally people dying in wars right now. There are people literally got some bad fucking news. They lost their family. Maybe they might have lost their arms and legs. And so what we're going through is not that bad. That's not to say be content, right? And be complacent. I'm just saying that there are worse things in the world. We just realize that what, there are worse things in the world. But let me have some fire under my ass and let me get this fucking problem solved. Do I know how to do it? No. Okay, who knows how to do it? Who do I believe is the best person that could help me? We don't know for sure. It's just okay, I believe that that person can help me. So instead of contemplating like, oh, who should I go with or what should I do? I could do this, I could do this, I could do that. No, no, dude, like just fucking pick a direction and start going. Like if a prospect had the same problem as you, like what advice would you give them? If one of your friends were in the same scenario as you, what advice would you give them? So it's a lot easier for us to give advice to other people, right? Which is why people like giving advice to other people. And so just ask yourself, like, how would I advise like a friend or a prospect if they told me the same thing or if they're in the same spot? You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying it's easy, just realizing that there are worse problems in the world. But regarding this, there are people that just don't know your vision. They cannot see your vision. Because if you're watching this, you're a high achiever. You don't want to be normal. You don't want to do whatever. You don't want to live a life that everybody lives, right? Like a white picket fence, fucking whatever. Like make like measly 50 grand a year, 60 grand a year, save up. You know, maybe marry like an average looking chick that's gonna nag at you to take out the fucking trash, and like your kids secretly don't respect you. Like you don't want that. Like that's most people's lives. That's most people's lives. I know it sounds crazy, but that is most people's lives. But you don't want that shit if you're tuning into this right now. And if you're staying this far, like 25 minutes, it means like you have brain cells to focus. Can you imagine? Because I don't want to work with losers. I don't want to be around losers. I don't want to be around or work with people that are like victim mentality. It's like, oh, whatever. Like just playing victim and not taking full responsibility. Not taking full responsibility, like this one sales guru we talked about that made up a complete lie about me. Those people will not take full responsibility. But somebody commented below that, oh man, your guys' beef is like Kendrick versus Drake. What did Kendrick say? They not like us. They not like us, right? All the other people, they don't take full responsibility. They play victim. They're entitled. Like, oh, like everything, like people should do this for me. Like a sales role should like fall on my lap. Everything should be free. They not like us. We take full responsibility for our own life. We take full responsibility and accountability for our own success. We take full responsibility as a role as a man, as a provider, to give the best life possible for the people that we love, whether our parents, whether our woman, whether our friends, whatever it may be. If you have children right now or future children, that's what we do. We move with speed. Even if we don't know the answer, we start getting the ball rolling. We take the first step. We invest into ourselves. I'm not just telling you to do this. I've invested at this point maybe about 300 grand or 400 grand dollars into courses, coaching, mastermind agencies, you name it. And every time, full responsibility. And that's what we do, right? A lot of people get stuck on like, oh, what if this doesn't work? Da da da. What if I lose the momentum I built, or what if I lose like the money I've been saving up, so on and so forth? Hormozy was talking about this one quote from Marcus Aurelius, which is, "What are you so afraid of losing when nothing in this world belongs to you in the first place? What are you so afraid of losing when nothing in this world belongs to you in the first place? The money that you've saved up, it doesn't belong to you, man. When you die, you're not gonna take that shit. The woman that you have, as much as you love her, when we die, it's like we don't have her anymore. The house that you live in, whatever. I know it sounds like really fucked up, right? It's like, dude, what? The whole point I'm trying to make is that why are you so afraid of losing? Nothing in this world belongs to us in the first place. So just take the big bets. Just keep moving forward. Like, what else are we gonna fucking do, man? It's like already what, like 7 days into the year or something like that. 7 days into the month. People are getting ahead, bro. Like, if we're not getting ahead, like we're falling behind because everybody else is getting ahead. You see? Things are moving fast. All right. I'm gonna start answering some questions. Marquis says, finally caught a live stream from you. Good, man. You can also look at the replay as well. When you hop on the live, you can ask questions. It can be more interactive. I can maybe answer some of your questions. If you missed the other parts, go back to the replay and watch the whole thing. Okay, serious question. How do you pick? Let me see. Well, I think somebody also said, oh, classical PO says my new favorite sales guru. Good to hear. Welcome in. Okay, classic P also asks, serious question. How do you pick one person for a mentor? Like, what are the things you look for in a mentor? Yeah, this is a very good question. Basically, okay, so identifying that, okay, what is my biggest bottleneck right now? What problem am I trying to solve? What result am I trying to get? And who do I believe to have the highest possibility of helping me get there? Oh, look at that. The bird just burgeon again. I think it does that every 30 minutes. I don't know. So as an example, right? Everything I've done was pretty much that. So when when I was trying to get in better shape, I bought some fitness programs, right? From a guy named Gregor Gallagher, Kino Body. Because I've seen other fitness programs, right? But it's like you have to eat like 6 times a day. I've tried that. You have to do like zero carbs, or you have to be in the gym for like 2 hours, like 6 days a week. I'm like, I don't want to do any of that, right? And then like their physique didn't really match what I'm trying to do. And so, but when I saw like Greg do it, I was like, okay, like you go to the gym 3 times a week, you are very efficient and effective while you're at the gym, and the physique that he has, I'm like, yeah, that's close to what I want, right? And so that's why I bought his. And so I'm not looking like some Mr. Bodybuilding Olympian, but I've been getting in like better shape bit by bit. Like physique hasn't been my number one focus, so to say. I still go to the gym. I box, right? Boxing is another thing. Like the boxing coach I have now, you can call him a mentor, right? The boxing coach I have now, I keep working with him. I've been working with him for like a couple of months, like a few months now. So he's from Uzbekistan, and Uzbekistan is number one in amateur boxing, right? And I like his style because he tolerates zero shit from me, zero excuses from me. Not that I make excuses, right? But like where he comes from, how they train is if you're just 1 minute late to the gym to train the first training session, you're not allowed in the gym. Like, bro, what the fuck are you late? Like, you should have arrived 10, 15 minutes ago. Right? And then my coach used to have flat foot. And when you have flat foot and when you're like, jumping around and doing workouts, apparently it hurts like a fucking bitch, even for a grown man. Right. So when he first started, like, oh, like he didn't even say anything, but he showed a bit of sign that it hurts. It's like, "Oh," just like that. And what his coach did was he fucking shot him in the face. Imagine you get a sales coach, and then like you're like, oh, doing a role play, and then the sales coach jumps out of the Zoom room and socks you in the fucking face. So that's where he comes from. And when they do planks at the end of a fucking grueling workout, they do planks not like this on like a yoga mat. They do planks like this on their fist on rocks, and they hold it for 20 minutes. When I first started doing planks after like a really hard workout, I was able to do 2 minutes. Now I'm at 13 minutes, but that's on like a flat surface. But his is like this, like 20 minutes, right? And when I'm like tired, I'm slowing down. He's like, bro, come on, push, push, push. Like he doesn't give a fuck if I'm tired or not, which I love, right? Like the mentors I'm looking for is people that hold me to my highest possible standard that I didn't even thought was possible for myself. And they take zero shit from myself. Those would be my favorite mentors. I don't like mentors that say like, "Oh no, you're doing good." Like they're like kind of like they're like a limp dick. Like I don't like I learned something, right? But like in an ideal world, I was like, dude, you can do better, man. Yeah. I don't need a mentor to like handhold me or like babysit me. And I don't do that for our members either. Right. We only work with grown-ups who don't have like a fuck ton of mindset issues. Right. Grown-ups who don't let the fear get in the way. Grown-ups where, okay, like these are my problems, I go do it. Brian told me to do this, I shut the fuck up and go do it. Right. So yeah, the mentors I look for like holding me to my highest possible standard ever. Yeah, that's yeah, not letting me buy into my own bullshit. Because it happens at every level, right? We all have like limiting beliefs or excuses in a way. Sometimes we have blind spots, right? So the mentors I look for is like they don't give a flying fuck about my excuses. If I'm tired, if it's hard, it's like, bro, like push. Come on now. You know? So yeah, Astral says, forgive your enemies. Yeah, I don't care at this point. I'm just moving past it. A lot of people said that, dude, you're holding back in your video. You should have just full send. It's like, I was like, yeah, I could have. Like, I could have gone into a lot more details. I was like, why bother? You know, I'm just sharing what I wanted to do in that video and this video also is I don't want to talk about just drama, like it's bad vibes, I don't like it. But share some lessons that I got from it that you can take away that's gonna benefit you as well, is what I want to do, which is what I've been doing in this video, right? But yeah, great question. Where in Miami is this? It's not Miami. It's Dubai. I'm in the Middle East. Not a problem. Okay, if you have more questions, sales related, life related, feel free to drop in the chat. I'm just walking around for a bit more now. And then let's see. Let's talk about something else. Skip the controversy. I just need more clarity before I make a move. What part of the situation becomes clear by not moving? What do you think of this response? I'm not sure what your question is. Are you thinking like are you asking me about how should you handle that objection? Like let's say you say, hey, the investment is 10 grand or whatever. I just need more clarity before I make a move. I think that's what you're asking. So the common problem is that like every sales rep wants, hey, what should I say when they say this? Like I get that, like everybody wants it. But the problem with that is like, and we can go over it too, but the problem with that is like that becomes a problem because now you have to go every single time. Okay, they said this thing that I haven't heard before. So what do I do in this case? Right? It's almost like in dating, before I got into sales, I got into the dating and the pickup artist community, right? And so the common problem that people guys had, and I had too, was let's say you go up to a girl on the street or at the club or whatever, and then you say something, it's like, hey, I saw you from over there, I just want to talk to you. And if you don't, let's say you go to your dating coach, right? You go to your pickup coach, like, hey, like she said that she said this, like what should I say after that? And if the coach is gonna like say this, and the guy goes over there, is like, yeah, da, 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 and the girl says something else, like, coach, he said this, what should like that never fucking ends. So that person doesn't become self-sufficient, right? They become a baby bird. And so what I found that is that's what most sales trainers and most sales programs do. So it's very limited, right? But what I found that worked the best when I'm training reps for myself, is training on principles as well as different specific examples. Because I don't like vagueness either, but I also want to know what do I need to do and how do I do it, as well as why am I doing that, right? So when they say I just need more clarity before I make a move, that is a concern, but we don't know what they mean by like more clarity or like what's the real objection. Because a lot of times when a prospect gives us an objection, like, hey, I need to do more research, I need to talk to my spouse. The words they say is not the real objection. It's what's behind the words that's the real objection. What are objections? Objections are concerns, right? And so the first step, and I'll give credits to where credits due, is what I learned from Uncle Jay, is first we got to clarify what I also call isolate, meaning that we got to isolate the real concern. I just need more clarity. It's not the real concern. Because what the fuck does that even mean, right? Clarity, what the fuck is that, right? So obviously we're not going to say that on the call. But we just go, yeah, it's not a problem. First, with any type of objection, how I do it and what I found works the best for most reps is first isolating value, right? That's not a problem. Money aside, would you do it? Right? They're like, yes, I would. Okay, why? Oh, because I really need the step by step on how to get started with trading, da da da. And I think what you guys have is exactly what I need. Okay, that makes sense. Now, does the 7K, does a 10K work within your current budgetary constraint? So first we isolated the value, right? Money aside. Like, yes, I see the value in it. I believe that this could help me get to my goal. Great. Value is isolated, right? So value is not the objection, right? At least for now. And okay, cool. Does a 7K work? We're going to money now, right? It's like, okay, yes, it does work. Okay, it does work, but I just need some clarity to move forward. Okay, so first value, right? We have an entire objection handling decision tree inside of a licensing program, real sales system, as well as we train our members how to actually use that thing so they can become self-sufficient. So, and if you want to apply, I'm sure there's like a link somewhere here. Can I say something in the chat, dude? I can't. I'm fucking unk with these things, as the Gen Z would say. I don't know how to drop a fucking chat. How do I type something? Fucking whatever. I'm just gonna go back to the thing. All right. Okay. Hey, look, guys, I did a green screen. The fuck is okay? Going back to the thing. Does 7K work within your current budgetary constraints? Yes, it does. Okay. We isolated that. And then after that, we go into fear, which is this. Okay. First, we gotta isolate and clarify, meaning that, okay, like what does that mean? Okay, when you say you need some clarity before moving forward, what do you mean by that specifically? What's really holding you back? And we need to get the real concern. And that could be because of, well, I just don't think that this could help me get to my goal. And if so, we got to be like, yeah, okay, I appreciate you telling me that. What's behind that? Right? That could be it, right? Oh, because I bought a course before, I did a program before, it didn't work out. Okay, we're getting somewhere. So you know how we took from I need more clarity before moving forward, and we are chunking it down to okay, they tried something before, right? So they're afraid that, and it didn't work for whatever reason, and they're afraid that it's going to be the same. They're just going to spend this money, and the same thing's going to happen, right? So it's a fear of failure based on their past experience. You see, and so doesn't matter if they say I've been burned before. The words are different, right? So what you don't want to get into is like, Brian, they said I've been burned before. What do I say here? Brian, they said this. What do I say here? Brian, they said they're gonna try. Like, no, 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 no. Calm down. Calm the fuck down. Right? You're not like a fucking answering machine. You're not a script robot. Understand principles. Let's talk about sales principles, which is boring, I know. But the reason why most people cannot do this is because they ignore the boring fundamentals. And most people ignore it because it's boring. It's not sexy, but I'll give you boring because it works, right? So they're afraid that whatever they tried in the past didn't work. So we got to understand if we're selling info products, right? Selling coaching programs, then we're talking about, okay, why did the thing they tried in the past did not work? Yeah, Victor says, write about principles, not automated responses. My problem. How much commissions is that costing you, Victor? Maybe you need some help, man. Maybe apply the real sales system before pricing goes up and before you keep losing out of commissions. Okay, real talk. Going back to the thing. So if they didn't get results, why is that? Is it because that they didn't put in the work? If so, why didn't they put in the work? Right? Or is the fact that they put in the work, it's just that maybe there was something wrong with the program, right? So there's external and internal, right? External is whatever happened with the program or whatever solution they tried. Internal is whatever happened with them, right? So we need to, so we got to clarify, right? So how do we clarify? We fucking ask them. No need to overcomplicate it, right? So beginners overcomplicate, right? And the advanced guys, they keep it very, very simple. So, okay, so I mean, why do you feel like, why is it that you didn't get the results from the program? Well, I don't know. Okay, I mean, did you actually put in, like, how much work did you put in terms of following the course curriculum, asking for feedback, and actually taking full responsibility? It's like, oh, I actually didn't like put in that much work. Oh, how come? And it's very important throughout this process, throughout this investigation process, it's very important that we keep a neutral tone in our demeanor. We in our program we call it subcommunication. Tonality is just your voice, right? But there's a lot of other parts that's moving in the sales interaction, which is our facial expression, our body language, and overall vibe, if you want to call it that, right? Those are all important that most programs don't talk about. So you keep a very, you don't want to come off like, what's that term? Accusatory. You don't want to be like, oh, why didn't you get results from the program? If you do that, they're gonna prospects gonna shut down. They're not gonna tell you, right? They're like, oh, fuck this guy. All right. So we stay neutral. I was like, "Oh, how come? Like, how come you didn't put in the work?" And then if they start to make some excuses, you got to reframe them. Now, if they did put in the work, and you got to get them to take responsibility, right? Because if they don't take responsibility and put in the work, then it doesn't matter if you give them a fucking genie lamp, nothing's gonna fucking happen, right? So now, if it's a matter of they actually did put in the work, but for some reason didn't get results, okay, what do you feel like was potentially missing or not up to par in the program that prevent you from getting results, even though you put in the work? Well, I think it's because they give me a lot of videos, but there was like no one to ask questions to. Or, like I hop into group calls and like 30, 40 people, like I couldn't get my questions answered. It's like, that makes sense. Yeah. Do you feel like if you actually had like a more intimate environment where you could get the feedback that you need to get, do you feel like that'd be helpful for you? They're like, yeah, it would. Do you feel like that would give you a better probability of you getting to, getting into trading, getting to 10K a month if you have better support, like intimate, like less people on the group calls, X and Y, Z? Yeah, I think it's just okay. Anything else getting into it? No, that's really it. Okay, cool. Yeah. So in our program, yeah, we have maybe 5 to 10 people on hopping on the calls. And not everybody asks a question. And so there's more than enough time for each person to get their questions answered, as long as they're showing up on time and coming up prepared. Yeah. So knowing that, what do you want to do from here? You know what I mean? So yeah, which by the way is the most like common problem in like most programs, by the way, right? As a side note too, our program right now is like more intimate and boutique, real sales assistant. We have about 5 to 10 people, sometimes less, sometimes in between. It's not gonna be like that forever, right? Because this is how business goes. Like we're gonna have more people in the group calls, so on and so forth. Anytime soon should be fine. So if you want to get like right now in the sales landscape, any other program you go in, there's gonna be anywhere between 30 to 100 people in a group call. I'm not exaggerating. This is data based on what people tell me when they come to our program. And nothing wrong with that. It's just how business works, right? I'm not throwing shades. It's just that, like, as businesses grow, you're going to have like the group calls are going to be more crowded, right? 30 people, 100 people. So it's tough, right? Especially for something like sales where you want to get a call reviewed or you want to get some more feedback, right? So our program right now, like I said, is like more intimate. You can apply, go apply. I'm sure there's like a link here. Go with that saleselevate.io/demo. Either in this video or any other video, like my recent videos on YouTube, there should be like a link for that. Fill out an application, and if you're qualified, then you should be able to schedule a call. Sweet. Does that answer Victor and other people that asked this question with the objections? Okay. Uh, yeah. I think that's, anyways, it's like late here. It's like 11 p.m. I'm gonna go to bed. Bye.